this is how we turned the £700,000 debt into a victory. What happened was a client came to us with a problem with his family home. It was a farm, which was basically secured to a lender for £700,000, and he needed to get it settled. The difficulty was the land had quite a high valuation, in excess of £1 million, so the client had approached us to try and facilitate and negotiate a commercial settlement. The situation was quite challenging. That the client presented to us with a £700,000 loan against his family home, which was a farm, which was in jeopardy. One of the biggest difficulties with that was the valuation of the farm, which was in excess of £1 million. The client approached us to see what we could do in terms of a commercial settlement and negotiating on the loan. So we knew because of the valuation that it was going to be difficult to settle this, but whenever we completed our due diligence and we reviewed the paperwork, we were able to identify some discrepancies and irregularities in terms of the lender's due diligence with the original loan, which helped us to find ways to challenge it to our client's benefit. Our approach was multi-layered. We worked with a solicitor appointed by the bank. We also took our own independent advice and provided our own technical guidance and legal expertise to identify holes in the bank's position and to see if we could get the bank to come to terms and to talk in terms of a negotiated settlement. Our biggest hurdle in terms of it was the valuation. Normally in these sort of scenarios, we're quite adept at negotiating commercial settlements, but obviously that was difficult given that the clients owed £700,000, whereas the value of the secured asset was over £1 million. So we worked very hard to discuss with the bank's valuer. We also completed our own valuations of the property. Then we worked to minimise that so that we could utilise that along with our commercial and legal arguments to bring the bank to the negotiating table. So after around 18 months of intense negotiations, we managed to secure a settlement of £600,000 on the debt of £700,000. Again, it wasn't massive savings, but it was never going to be given the valuation. But the key point from the client's perspective, it enables them to move on with their lives, put this chapter behind them, and to alleviate the massive stress and burden that they're under, prevent any threat of receivership and repossession of the property, and crucially, protect the succession plans for the family farm. And what this case demonstrates is the fantastic results that we receive, and where your assets are in jeopardy and you've got difficulty with a lender, just pick up the phone and speak to us, because we have got ready-made tailored solutions available, and our team of experts are ready and willing to provide independent and impartial advice to provide solutions such as this.